Welcome back to the Ingraham Angle. This morning, the president tweeted, "This is my 500th day in office, and we have accomplished a lot. Many believe more than any president in his first 500 days." He's very competitive, okay? In fact, most Republicans do agree. Based on Gallup numbers, Trump has the second highest ratings ever by a president's own party after the 500-day mark at 87%. That's second only to George W. Bush, and that, of course, was after 9/11. So does this all spell some trouble for the Democrats who have already lost their big lead in the midterm generic election polls? They're all now dead even. Let's dive into that with Matt Schlapp, chairman of the American Conservative Union and Democratic strategist, good friend of the program, Joel Payne. All right, we're going to do our report cards as well. We got our report cards. But 500 days in, Matt, I've got to say, I thought Trump would do well. I didn't think he would do this well. I did not predict. I predicted he was going to win the presidency. I did not predict would be, it looks like projection to 4+% GDP next quarter, confidence up, African-American unemployment, historic lows. The list goes on, and Jerusalem moving the embassy. I mean, all of this stuff, I guess I'm kind of speechless about that.
Having worked in the White House, what I'm amazed at is just like the flooding of decisions. Promise made, promise kept on issue after issue after issue. You usually don't see that. Presidents like to space it out, take a breath, and this president has just done, I had to write it all down. You can't keep track of it.
No.
There's so much getting done. So I agree with you. It's amazing.
He's patient for change. Now, your report card for the president, do we have separate rosters for them? I think we do. His domestic policy report card, you give the president an A. Yeah. And the reasons?
How do you do better than a growing economy, Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court?
You have your own report card. Isn't that cute? Look at that.
That's nice.
Look, I love it. Why are you in red? That's usually for an F. Okay, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I'm on the red side. I think what he did with Title X was incredibly brave. Past Republican presidents have passed that buck. The Republicans in Congress,
defunding Planned Parenthood.
The Republicans in Congress might not want to defund it or take the steps to do it, but the president's willing to do it on issue after issue after issue. Now, I take the final thing. Rolling back all those regulations, I think that has the biggest impact on the economy, and that's why we're growing.
What's the tax bill in your?
It was good. No, it was very good, but I think the regulations are bigger. I actually think the Obama regulations had a bigger dampening on the economy.
Yeah. Okay, Joel, you give a different report card.
Yeah, I'm like the 54% of America that's not happy here on this side of the table.
You're very happy
You guys
with
are
us.
the 46% that is happy. I'm the 54% that's not happy. So.
Okay, so tell us why. Why you gave him an F, which that's a rough
you were giving me a hard time about in the break, and I said, I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Listen, this president has been an abject failure in any way you measure it. People entered this presidency being able to afford their gas, being able to afford their health insurance. They can't now. Also, their Social Security, their Medicare has been put at risk by this president. He has been a complete and total washout and a failure as domestic policy president.
So
and Republicans, and I'm surprised that establishment Republicans actually haven't stood up more to this president to fight for some of the values that they claim they care about.
Well, here's an establishment Republican, Ryan Costello from Pennsylvania. Trump won Pennsylvania first time since, as you pointed out, H.W. won in 88, excuse me. This is what he said today on MSNBC, and he's retiring. Let's watch.
There are instances where you do see Republican pushback in the House and the Senate. I've found myself very, very frustrated because, we have the right, we have the left, but we do have a center. And I think a lot of folks in the center don't know what to believe. And you get your head chopped off if you're in the middle trying to balance things out and use some common sense.
Well, he picked up his marbles and went home, right? He's retiring, and he's
at
age like 30.
A little young to be retiring. That's what I was going to say.
He panicked. A lot of these Republicans in the House who aren't running for re-election, they thought Trump was so atrocious that they ran out of town.
Come on, that is funny. No, Joel, we have to go to foreign policy, though. Joel, you were a little more genuine. You were more generous.
Give him an F.
Okay. First of all, on the domestic policy, just with African-American unemployment at historic low, you have to give him more than an F. But I want to leave that behind.
Another segment on
Let's leave that behind. But foreign policy, you gave him a D+. Why?
Well, and I put the plus on there. I was going to do minus, and I put the plus.
That's just not credible.
And you know what?
Level.
And actually, I think the grade is more like an incomplete. I think we've got to see what happens with North Korea. Listen, I am not a fan of this president. I'll be the first person to give him credit if he can actually bring peace to the Korean Peninsula. If he can stabilize the Korean Peninsula, I'll give this president credit. But everything else, he's embarrassed us on the world stage.
How is that?
He's destabilized the Middle East.
How is he embarrassed us on the world stage? Obama was apologizing for the first 3 months of his presidency.
Let me finish. I'll explain to you. He's destabilized the Middle East. Caused.
How was that? He killed ISIS off. ISIS is gone.
Yeah. Also was responsible for the deaths of a lot of innocent women and children a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, Obama never hit drones. Drones are never Obama. The left trashed Obama for drones. Matt, foreign policy.
B+, and I would say I didn't give him an A only because he's upsetting the apple cart. We got to see how it comes together. I'm so happy about Iran. I'm so happy about NAFTA. I'm happy about a lot of these changes. I love North Korea. But we got to see what the next step is. I think he has a chance to be transformational on foreign policy. Now it's about execution with Bolton and Pompeo at his side, which makes me pretty happy.
I'll move him up to a C if he does good on Korea.
Oh, good. Korea. Oh, you get a C. You are a tough grade. I'm glad I wasn't in your class. Now, fellas, I want to quickly get your thoughts on something that developed late today, just before we aired. Amid reports that many players were refusing to show up to the White House tomorrow, President Trump disinvited the Philadelphia Eagles ahead of their visit to celebrate the team's Super Bowl win. The president, in a statement, scolded the team over their refusal to proudly stand for the national anthem, Hand on Heart. Matt Schlapp, was that smart to do, disinvite the people who were coming?
I feel bad for the fans that made the trip to be here, but I tell you, I don't think there's anybody in America that feels sorry for the NFL players. I think we're tired of this whole cast of characters.
NBA is much better about this. They seem to.
Most sports. Hey, I was at the Caps game. Everybody stood. All the hockey players.
Why does the NBA manage to do this right?
You can't stand those NFL players, right? Even though all the Eagles stood the entire year, no one knelt, no one sat down. Check the Washington Times, February 1st, 2018.
So
none of them knelt, none of them sat down, and the president decided
then why don't they go to the White House?
Well, because none of them want to be there because they don't want to be associated with him. By the way, President Obama, many people did not come to the White House over the 8 years President Obama did. He ever disinvite one? Not one. This guy's a snowflake. He can't handle criticism. He can't handle a tough crowd.
Obama got more.
So I hope.
Wait a second.
So if he can't handle Carson Wentz, hopefully he can handle.
I've got to say, I actually would have had them come. I wouldn't have disinvited them.
Of course.
I would have had them come and just been like,
he's weak.
Okay, first of all, Joel, he beat the Clintons, the Obamas, the entire press corps.
Yeah, he beat them by minus 3 million votes. He did a great job.
Okay, Mr. Get rid of the Electoral College. That's fine. You can do that next show. He beat the Hollywood. He beat the GOP establishment. He clear-cut the whole field.
A race to 43%.
He's afraid of taking on competition. Rubio, Kasich, Jeb Bush, all of them gone. So don't tell me he's afraid. That's an unfair criticism. He took on all of them, and he clear-cut the field.